Lesson 28. 28th lesson. Irregular verbs. There are some more irregular verbs in Lesson 27, viz. make, tell, sing, sleep, and hurt. Here is the past tense of each of them and of some other irregular verbs used in Lessons 1 to 27, present tense. Past tense: make, made, read, read, sing, sang, rise, rose, sleep, slept, runs, ran, hurt, hurt, send, sent, begin, began, sit, sat, feed, fed, speak, spoke, fly, flew, teach, taught, hear, heard. Ought. On page 204 you have the sentence, "You ought to be like my Uncle Ben." Ought is a defective verb. This is the only form that it has. It has no past tense, no present participle, etc. You cannot use any verb like shall, have, be, etc. in front of it. So, I shall ought, he has ought, I was ought are all wrong. Its negative is ought not, e.g. you ought not to make that mistake. Its interrogative is ought I, ought you, ought he, etc. Here are some other examples of its use. If Mr. Priestley told you to study that lesson, you ought to do it. He paid a high price for his suit, it ought to be a good one. After living in England for 2 years, you ought to know the language well. Ought you to be here today? I thought you had a holiday. I oughtn't to tell you the answer to the question, but as it is rather a hard one, I will. Must. On page 203 you had the sentence, eggs must be very scarce here. Must also is a defective verb. It has no other form except this. Its negative is mustn't. Its interrogative is must I, must he, etc. Verb families: give, gives, gave, given, giving, walk, walks, walked, walking, cut, cuts, cutting, can, could, ought, must. No English verb has more than 5 parts, except be, which has be, is, are, was, were, been, being. It has 2 meanings. The sentence above shows one meaning. Here are some other examples of the other. You must give us your ideas, Pedro. Page 200. You must not smoke here. You must keep your book clean. You must take cold baths, go out in the fresh air and wear light clothes. Page 188. Where must I go to get good coffee? Page 200. He must be a clever man. He knows so much about everything. A woman must have new clothes. Page 187. You must come and see us some evening. Must you go so early? It is only 9 o'clock. Matter. Note the use of the idiom, it doesn't matter, on pages 201 and 203. If you can't tell the difference, what does it matter which it is? Soup doesn't matter to me if I get some good beef and potatoes. Other examples. Oh, no, it doesn't matter at all. Don't worry about little things like that, they don't matter. There is another common idiom with matter, i.e., what is the matter? E.g. Tom said, what is the matter? P. 178. Other examples. What's the matter with this coffee? It tastes like tea. What's the matter with you? You look ill. Taste. Taste can be 1. a noun, 2. a verb, e.g. 1. This tea has a nice taste. I like the taste of these cigarettes. I can tell the difference by the taste. 2. As a verb it can have 2 uses. A person tastes a thing, e.g. the man tasted his soup. Taste your coffee and tell me if it is good. B. A thing has a certain taste, it seems to be something that, perhaps, you didn't expect it to be, e.g. the soup tasted like water. This coffee tastes like cabbage water. This cheese tastes like chalk. This soup tastes good. Like. Note the uses of like. This tea tastes like coffee. After a lunch like that I can sleep all afternoon. John is very like his father. What does Mr. Priestley look like? Oh. He is tall and handsome and rather thin. Hob thinks that swimming and football are too much like hard work. p. 141. Un as a verb. I like bacon and eggs for breakfast. I don't like this coffee. You can say what you like. Pronunciation drill. A number of the words you have learned in this book contain the sound u, or ua, with the sound j before it. Here are some words for practice in these sounds. New. Few, newspaper, suit, use, new, beauty, music, Tuesday, future, student, useful, Europe, beautiful, regular, continue, superlative, particular, January, university, singular. Exercises. Exercise 1. Completed the following. Infinitive, past tense interrogative, past tense negative, make, tell, sing, sleep, hurt, begin, feed, fly, hear, read, rise, run, send, sit, speak, teach. Exercise 2. Make the following sentences. 1. Interrogative. 2. Negative. 1. Hobbs sang a song. 2. Lizzie made the dinner. 3. They slept after that big dinner. 4. He went to Tom's wedding. 5. The students began work at 9 o'clock. 6. Hob told some stories to the students. 7. She fed the animals on the farm early in the morning. 8. They flew across the Atlantic in an aeroplane. 9. The sun rose at 5 o'clock in the morning. 10. Pedro sent some cigarettes to his friend. 11. The dog ran all round the field. 12. Mr. Priestley sat reading until 1 o'clock. 13. The students heard some stories today. 14. They spoke to Mr. Priestley about food. 15. Mr. Priestley taught the students today. Exercise 3. Make 3 sentences with the word must in them, and 3 with ought. Exercise 4. Make sentences using taste 1 as a noun, 2 as a verb, and using like 1 as a verb, 2 as a preposition. Exercise 5. Make sentences using matter in 2 different ways. Exercise 6. Write the story of silence, please. p. 166 in the past tense. Begin. Yesterday morning Mr. Thompson left home. Thank you very much for the likes, and subscribe to our channel.